Alright, hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to finish up your Shockwave by adding it to a weapon. What I'm going to show you is how to set the scripts so your rocket, when it impacts something, the explosion sets off so it's your Shockwave or explosion or whatever the heck you want to call it that you made. So first I'm going to get onto my map. This isn't the computer that I used to actually make the Shockwave on, so I'm redoing the tutorial actually with a mic this time, so hopefully it'll be better. Alright, so now that we have the map loaded, I'm just going to show you what windows you're going to need to have open. So you're going to open up your database view, just right here, and go over to the tab that's Particles. And I already have the explosion library open, but if you don't, you're gonna have to go to the little folder that's right next to the save button and look for explosions, which should be right here. If you already have it open, this little thing should pop up, and then you should get like a little error report, but don't worry about it. Alright, so what you're gonna have to need is your explosion, obviously, which mine is already all the way down into the rocket library, and it's metal too, so you have to remember that. Right. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we don't want for this. Right, so first I'm going to give myself a rocket launcher. Oh shit, spelled that. Whoops, my bad. Give item law. There we go, now I got it. Alright, so your explosion from the rocket launcher is going to be random because you don't have the particles set yet. So see, you just have a splash and this weird thing. That shouldn't be your actual explosion, it should be something else, as I already have the particle file in here that has all my explosions. Okay, so first things first, before you can actually make any changes to it, you're going to need this program called winrar, which is right here. Looks like this. And this is your file archiver. This is how you actually get into the like roots of the game. So once you have that installed, you want to go to, if you have Windows 64 or Windows 7, which is the 64-bit, you're going to have a programs file folder times 86 or whatever, x86. You're going to go through there, and then you're going to go to your Crisis folder, which is Electronic Arts, Crytek, Crisis, and then you're going to go to Game. Afterwards, once you get there, there's going to be a little pack file called Game Data. You're going to open that, and then go to the folder Scripts, Entities, Items, XML, then ammo. And then you should get a whole bunch of lists of these stuff. These are already like changed. This is already what I have, all my custom named whatever, super blah 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 blah. And for the time being, I switched out the rocket, so you should know what it looks like. It should be rocket.xml. And what you're going to do is you're going to right click and extract to specified folder or specific folder. What the hell? I don't know what this is. Anyway, once you do that, just click OK. Or if you have the new version of winrar, make sure it says, you go to advanced and make sure it says do not extract paths, because then you'll get a whole bunch of weird folders. And I already have it set, I already have it extracted, so when you do it, this shouldn't pop up, so I'm just going to click no. Okay, so to get to that file, now you're going to want to go to your computer, go to local disk, the same way you got to Crisis, the Crisis folder on winrar, program x86. Then you're going to go to Electronic Arts, Crytek, Crisis, then Game. And then what should happen is you should have a folder called Game Data that should appear here. You're going to click on that, and I already have a whole ton of stuff in here. What should happen is you should only have rocket, which is right here. And the way you're going to edit these are you're going to right click and go to edit, obviously. And what should happen is you should have a notepad file that should come up. And once that comes up, you can just look at all of this stuff. It's quite a bit, but it's not a lot compared to all the weapons and stuff. But right here, the physics type particle, this is all your parameters for like your speed and mass of the particle. What you should be interested in is explosion, the explosion root right here. And what you're going to see is param name effect value with the quotation marks. Hopefully there's nothing here for you. If there is, that's not very good unless you already edited some of this stuff. Okay, so now that you've opened this, you want to go back to the engine, the Cry engine, and look for your particle, whatever it was. And so after you find it, you have to remember it's explosion. The library is explosions, and then the sub-library is rocket, and then your particle is metal 2, or whatever you have that you've edited. And once you find that, you're going to type in explosions. Whoops. But you have to make sure it's case sensitive, so you're going to have explosions, and then you're going to put period, and then rocket, period, and then metal 2. And that'll make sure when the rocket explodes, it'll register as this, as your particle here. It'll automatically ignore any other explosion particles and just immediately go to metal 2. Once you do that, you want to save as. Then you should get this pop up, and then just save it to whatever the heck you feel like. So I'm just going to do it Super Rocket 5. And then you have to make sure you do this. You put .xml, because this will save it as an XML file, and the game will only read XML files. What happened here is I didn't put XML, and it made it just a regular document, which won't help. So then you're going to hit save. So after you do that, you're going to want to go back to your folder, the regular folder, not winrar, that has your game data folder in it, and you want to go find Super Rocket 5 is what I named it, so it's somewhere right here. And you're going to pull open winrar again, and you're going to delete rocket. It's okay to delete it because you've already extracted it, and it'll save it as normal. If you ever mess up, you can just put the normal one back into here. So you're going to delete rocket. Whoops. Oh, whoops. One more thing. I just made a mistake. You have to make sure the editor is closed. So I'm just going to close that before you can actually move or take anything out. So I'm going to try that again. You're going to delete rocket. Why do I keep doing that? And you're going to replace it by clicking and dragging Super Rocket 5 into the folder. So once you do that, you should see it appear here. And now you can go back to the game. Hopefully, if this all works out, I won't have to redo this for the 800th time. Okay, I just paused it so I could wait for the thing to load and it wouldn't take up any more time on the video. Okay, so now that you've replaced Rocket with Super Rocket 5 or whatever the heck you named it, just give yourself another rocket launcher. And since this is my extreme nuke or whatever, nuke V5 or whatever I called it, I'm probably gonna have to like back up a little. Hopefully this will work. Just watching it travel. Oh, so that's a problem. Something went wrong here. Alright, I'm gonna pause this and go fix it. Of course. What did I do wrong this time? Hello, I need quiet right now because I'm doing something. Mom, can you shut the door? Okay, so I fixed my problem. I forgot I had already made the rocket for the explosion, so I just swapped that out in the winrar folder. So basically, oops, what should happen after you do all that is this. and you get your explosion. All of this goody good stuff. And that is basically how you do that. I might try to make this over. It's really bad. This is my first tutorial. I know. And also, one more thing. The WinRAR, WinRAR archiver program, I'll just put a link to download that in the description, so I don't have to go through all of this, because I'm a lazy person sometimes, except when I'm motivated. You can see my when I'm not motivated to be creative in Crisis video if you don't believe me. So alright, this is Lord Bacon signing out. Thanks for watching.